Good afternoon. Welcome aboard Freedom and the second part of our anniversary vlog, which is a questions and answers. And this vlog we are going to cover lifestyle questions. And without any further ado, let's get started. Well, Julie, to answer the question as honestly as I can honestly say I've not been lonely. I've had this conversation with several people on the marina, and I've lived on board Freedom now for over a year. And I say to them, I can honestly say I've never, ever sat on this boat at any point and thought to myself, oh, I am sad or I am lonely. Now, I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody. I've come out of a 27-year relationship and marriage, so I'm used to having companionship. I'm 64, and I've been in marriages and relationships for over 40-some years. So I'm used to having companionship. But that also brings with it a lot of compromising. And for me, I've managed this year, despite COVID, despite this all being a brand new experience for me, something I haven't done before. I've never been on a boat before. I did have a week on a narrowboat going on up the Chesterfield Canal, but not what I call a real life experience. So for me, I've focused on several key areas. One, I've concentrated on myself, which is hard to do when you've come out of a relationship because you're used to that compromise situation. I set myself goals. I set myself routines, and I set myself challenges. So my goals is to become happier about myself, learn to be myself and not to act in a way that somebody wants me to be, not to try to put on this front that's not real. So what you see to camera is exactly what I am. You know, faults and all. Routines. I have so many routines, and I just love the fact I've got them. So from the moment I get out of bed in the morning, if Misty could talk, she'd tell you I have the same routines. Everything has to be right. It's like when I go to bed at night, I can't leave pots in the pot rack. Everything has to be washed, dried, put away. I tidy all the cushions. Before I go to work in the morning, I make sure I hoover, the bed's made, the curtains are all drawn back, the windows are part open, the fire's set. Everything has to be right. And the challenge is to learn how to sail Freedom safely. And the ultimate challenge is to sail this boat with Misty, single crew, all the way to Liverpool and back. And I've chosen Liverpool because if I go any further, I'll be in the sea. And that is the challenge. And I don't get that loneliness. I watch less telly now than I've ever watched in my life. I don't seem to have a lot of hours. I spend a lot of time out on the fields with Misty, connecting back with nature, slowing the pace down, not on the clock, not rushing about. And there's many a day. I'll have phoned my sister or my daughter, and I'll be saying, oh, I'm getting ready for a cup of tea, and it's already 9:30. And I'm thinking, where's that day gone? There's always little jobs to do on the boat. I love to keep it clean and tidy. I've been doing quite a bit lately on the outside. So I think the aim to banish loneliness is to fill your day with things that you enjoy doing, but more importantly, things that you get benefit out of, things that you feel you've achieved something by doing, and keep setting yourself goals. Community around you in a marina is fantastic. I'm sure that if you're out on the cut it would be slightly different, especially if you're moored up on your own. I've got that to experience, but then I'm happy with my own company, you know. There's nothing wrong with being in your own bubble. There's nothing wrong with solitude. I've said this before on a vlog. I like the solitude that freedom gives me. I've got Misty here at the side of me if I need a break from my own company. And on the marina, you've always got neighbours. And the nice thing is, they're there when you need them, and they're there when you don't. So they're not in your pocket, but there's always somebody around if you need help, or you just want a friendly chat. Go out on the fields with your dog, and you go out for a 10-minute walk, and you're out there for half an hour. So that's how I deal with it. I know everybody handles it different, but the most important thing is if you are feeling lonely, then reach out. Reach out to fellow boaters, get involved with people like myself who've got YouTube channels who are trying to help and inspire. Talk to your neighbours. Most marinas will have a community page. Add a few comments on there. I must say there'll always be a few people, even on marinas, as in all walks of life, who don't always appreciate the questions you're asking, and they give you sarcastic answers. But don't let that run you down. You know, keep asking, keep reaching out, and banish that loneliness. That's well, Phil, to be honest with you, the answer is no. I won't be working. My plan is I'm 65 this June, so I've got another year moored in a marina, going out occasionally once COVID rules are lifted and everything gets back to a little bit of normality. Practice sailing, doing my helmsman course, going up to Sawley, which I'm planning to do more on their visitor moorings, and have 2 or 3 days at a time where I can go out on the open water where it's relatively safe. I'm not in the full flow of the River Trent, but I'm on some wide water, getting used to freedom, getting used to how she handles, how she goes, how she stops, how she turns. So I've got a year after this June before I fully retire. Then I intend to go out at least 6-7 months of the year, depending on the weather, and then I'll just winter moor, so I've got the safety and the comfort of a marina on the cold and wet and horrible nights. So hopefully no more work after I'm 66. I think I'll have done enough. Now, I understand the question, Sharon, but I don't actually get where the hard work is. I suppose if you was when I go out on the water on my own, then yes, life is going to be a little bit harder because I'm going to be more reliant on my own ability to look after myself out on the water and to operate locks. I don't think there'll be any lift bridges where I'm going, and the general day-to-day maintenance of the boat. But honestly, I don't think that's really any harder than living in a house and having to maintain that. As long as you do regular checks, you do preventative maintenance, so you don't wait till something in your boat suddenly just stop working. You know, you keep an eye on everything. You keep your engine well serviced, your fuel tank full, your water tank's full, your cassette's empty, and you get into that routine. I don't see it as work. It's just part of a daily routine and daily checks. You were saying that you feel that it may be, you know, outside your ability, basically, from the way you worded your question to me. You will be surprised how you will adapt and how easy boat life can be. And as I said before in the previous vlog, when I was dealing with boat questions, when you are out on the water, don't forget you can join the River Canal Rescue. So you're not going to be in the middle of nowhere with an engine that doesn't run, and you've got to get your rubber gloves on and your spark plug spanner out and start panicking. You know, you just moor up, make sure you're safe where you are, make that phone call, and help's always just a phone call away. Fellow boaters will never leave you stranded. Again, reach out to them. If you're in a situation where you need help, there's always somebody on another boat who's prepared to help you. So don't let that fear of not having the ability stop you enjoying the lifestyle that many of us enjoy when we move on to a boat. Thank you for your question, Ruben. Well, it's more of a comment, really. You've sent me to say that you haven't had much success in making biscuits. Well, let me just reassure you, all great chefs and all great TV cooks, they all have failures. It's just that they don't advertise them. They just show you the good bits. And to be honest with you, I don't think I'm any different. You know, you learn from making the mistakes. And you've asked if I could, because I've now got the recipe from you, if I can have a go at making these biscuits as a future cooking vlog. I haven't done any cooking for a few vlogs now because I didn't want it to become what people associated as freedom is all about, just baking and cooking, although that is a big part of my lifestyle. But I will, and I promise you, in the not too distant future, we're going to make them biscuits and you'll see, if I get it right, where you went wrong. So fingers crossed. Keep watching and let's see what the results are. Well, Janice, the mail at the moment, because I'm a residential moorer here at Misty Marina, part of what you get when you pay your mooring fee is a pigeonhole post box in the main office. So the mail is directed to the office at the marina, and the staff there then obviously put it into your individual pigeonhole, and every time you go down to the shop or you have to pop in to get any electric on your meter, you just check for your mail. It's not delivered to your boat obviously, but you can collect it on a daily or weekly. I tend to go once a week. I'm not expecting a lot of letters or bills, and you've got that reassurance that your mail is safe. Now obviously when you go out on the water, when I do go out, I'll be out, as I said before, possibly 6-7 months of the year. What I will do then is have use my daughter's home address for any what I consider urgent mail to be sent to. But again, you know, it's no major issue. Most of the communications I have now with companies who I deal with is done through email. So the old-fashioned envelope in the pigeonhole for me isn't a major problem, and I don't think I'm really going to miss it when I'm out on the water. That's another good point, Janice. I'm very fortunate that I'm relatively fit and healthy, and I haven't needed the doctors in the whole of the year that I've been here at the marina. I am still registered with my main doctor, who I've been with since I was 20 years old, and I use my address that I have at the local town where the doctors are as my contact address if I need it. But yes, when I'm out on the water, that situation changes. I need to look into that because I know that I can still get emergency doctor help when I'm out on the water, but I haven't really researched that as yet because in my list of priorities at the moment, that's well down the list. But I will update you when I go out on the water how I've, you know, come to terms with sorting that out. Well, at the moment, I can only answer half your question, to be honest with you. I've enjoyed Marina Life now for a year. Can't fault it. I know some people don't like being in the marinas and they want to be out on the water. And as I've had my first year on a boat during lockdown, I haven't been out on the water, so I haven't done any constant cruising as of yet. And but I think there's a bit of a compromise. I think the fact that you've got the security of not only being hooked up to the mains electric, you've got nice dry pontoons to walk down, you've got areas to park your van, you've got the shops, and when lockdown allows on Mercy Marina, they've got the bar and the Indian restaurants, etc. And obviously you won't have that benefit when I'm out on the water. But then on the other side of the coin, you've got the solitude that I enjoy more. I will be more in touch with nature because I'm out amongst it. I'm not saying I'm so keen on the muddy towpaths because I like a clean boat, but again, it's all part and parcel of being on a boat, on the water, with muddy towpaths. And I'm just looking forward to the getting out there and being able to sail freedom, say to Newark, Gainsborough, Lincoln, and further afield, and being able to moor up and spend time exploring with Misty, the new surroundings. And of course, if you get somewhere and you don't like it, you just under them ropes and you just carry on that journey. Whereas in the marina, I suppose if you're unfortunate enough to have chosen a marina that's not as good as Mercia, and your neighbours aren't as friendly and as helpful as they are here, then maybe you would feel possibly a little bit trapped, because finding moorings sometimes isn't as easy, especially with the Widebeam. And I imagine that there is folk who have got a mooring in a marina and they're not particularly happy, but they're just stuck because at the moment they can't. There's no alternative because of lockdown and the fact that there's a shortage of moorings. Well, Janice, we don't actually pay council tax. Part of the procedure living in Mercia, we are required to move berths every 6 months, and in doing so, it avoids us being in a position where we have to pay a local council tax. Now, I've moved twice now. The first move was from the berth I was in to the one next door. So it would literally just sail her out and pull her back in. And a couple of weeks ago, I moved 2 berths. And I think, again, I've got an additional berth to move to in 6 months' time. And then if I'm still on the marina, which I should be, I'll then revert right back to the very beginning to where I originally started. And that procedure would go over again over the 18 months, every 6-month period for the next 3. So it's a little bit of a musical chair scenario, but because you do move moorings, then you don't have to pay council tax. I think Wi-Fi's one of the up there in the top range of topics that most narrowboat owners question about, or any boater questions about, next to fires and toilets. I think they're one of the top questions. Again, in the marina, they've just installed a new Wi-Fi system. I did try out the first one that they had here, and you just paid so much per month. And I did a trial for a month, and it cost me £10. And I put in a previous vlog, I would have been better off going and buying a bag of coal, because I wasn't actually on it. I don't think it was live for more than 2 minutes. For me, it was rubbish, absolute rubbish. I have a dongle that sits on the worktop in the kitchen. I pay £10 a month for it. I think it's 30 gig, and I have unlimited data, obviously, again with my phone. Between the two, I've never bothered to join up for the new Wi-Fi, which is cabled. So you get you get a module that you pay, I think it's about £76 for, something like that, from the marina office, and then you run a cable to the box that's on the pontoon near you in your mooring area. And those who have got it say that it's fantastic for things like Netflix, etc. Well, like I said in a previous answer to one of the questions about loneliness, I don't watch that much TV now. If I watch 2 hours a day, I'm exaggerating. When I lived in a house, the telly would go on when I came home from work, and I'll be watching 5, 6, 7 hours before I went to bed every night. So the Wi-Fi when I go out, I will look into that a little bit stronger to see how I'm going to survive that. But in another year, year and a half's time, the whole Wi-Fi scenario will have, like everything else, have moved forward, and I will be taking a closer look at what's available in the marketplace to give me the best possible receptions, so I can carry on uploading YouTube channel videos, etc. And again, I will keep you posted, because before I sail, when I go towards Liverpool, I will be documenting the issues I'm going to have with things like doctors, supplies, Wi-Fi, toilets, fuel. All these things will be part and parcel of that journey and that adventure. So keep watching, and you'll see how I deal with the Wi-Fi when we go out on the water. But for now, in the marina, as I say, I've got plenty of Wi-Fi. I haven't used the marina Wi-Fi, so I can't really criticise the new one. I know they did have a few glitches when it first went live, but I think they've got past that now. Well, Tanya, I think it'd be easier to ask, what don't I like about Mercia? From my experience, the whole year I've been here, I've enjoyed just everything that Mercia has to offer. It wasn't my first choice. I've mentioned this in a previous vlog. I originally was intending to moor at Sawley Marina, because the moorings were cheaper, because you can come out of the marina and turn right and go straight out onto the Trent, which for a wide beam is fantastic, because you're not having to deal with lots of little bridges and narrow sections of canal that we will experience between leaving Mercia and getting down to Sawley. But when I came to look at Freedom, the owners did ask me, and they, again, I've covered this before, and they said to me, are you going to keep Freedom here? And I says, no, I'm going to go to Sawley. And I also looked at Red Hill Marina, so it's not having a go at Sawley. And they offer the amenities that suit other people's lifestyles. For me, when I looked around Mercia, it encompasses everything I want, you know, and what I feel I need. I'm very close to nature with it all. I love the open fields that we've got for Misty. I've got the most fantastic neighbours, you know, and being on Freedom in Mercia, I was talking to another YouTuber in the laundry, as you do, and we both were saying it's a little bit being like a born-again evangelist. When you move onto your boat and you come into such a lovely marina with such fantastic community spirit in it, it's uplifting. It really is uplifting. You're never on your own, as I said before. The facilities here are well looked after. We've got a fantastic ground staff who look after all the gardening side of it. The cleaners are exceptional. These ladies deserve a medal. They are fantastic. Many a morning when I'm taking Misty onto the field, or I'm going into my van to go to work, I watch them, and they are not only cleaning the toilet blocks here and the shower blocks, which are absolutely first rate, but they're cleaning all the signage, front and back, out at the end of the pontoons. I've seen them cleaning the diesel supply pumps. They wipe everything down. Everything is kept lovely and clean. It's nice when you walk around Mercia. It's not I was going to say there's no litter, but that would be lying, because unfortunately, again, humans being humans, there is people who live at this marina who drop litter. There is people with dogs at this marina who feel that they don't need to pick up their dog poo, but you get that in all walks. But it's not a major issue here. It's a niggle. It's more of a niggle. And as I say at the beginning of the answer to your question, if I had anything that I didn't like about Mercia, and I've been totally honest, and I'm not having a go at Mercia as in having a go, it's the cost of living here. I do feel that it's obviously one of the more expensive marinas, but then I could always undo the ropes and sail somewhere else. And do I choose to stay here or do I take the ropes off? I choose to stay here, because sometimes you can't always put a materialistic value on your mooring, if that makes sense. It's what your lifestyle, you're getting the I was going to say the spiritual side of the mooring. It's hard to encompass what I'm trying to say to you, but it's the whole atmosphere and the relaxed lifestyle that you enjoy living here at Mercia. Then is it worth the money? I think so. That's a good question, Sean. Well, I think there's really only one thing that I miss about living in a house. And I've got used to it now. I did miss it when I first moved on board Freedom, and that's a bath. I looked at so many boats that have got baths on, and yes, they do look great, and I like a soak in a bath, I have to admit. And at the risk of sounding like I'm dirty, I haven't had a bath now for 15 months, but I do shower every day, and I enjoy my shower on board Freedom because it's a large, spacious shower, and my boat gives me loads of hot water, and I love it. But yeah, you can't beat, when you've had an hard day, you can't beat soaking in a bath with a can of cider and just chilling out. That's the only thing. I don't miss having the garden, because I've got a big garden. I've got 9 gardeners, and I don't have to pay them a penny. Well, not directly anyway. And I've got my own cleaners, and again, I don't have to pay them. Well, again, not directly. But yeah, just the bath. There's nothing else. And would I go back into a house kicking and screaming if I had to? But I've said this once, I think, in the past again. If they could lift Freedom out of the water and place her in the middle of a 40-acre field, I still want to live on this boat, because I've got a connection with Freedom, and I love it to bits. This boat, I love it to bits. So, no, nothing else, and I won't go back in a house. Why did I start a YouTube channel, Sharon? Well, those who know me would tell you that I'm not a sort of guy who was easy to communicate and socialise. I tend to be a bit reserved, and I sit in the corner of a pub with a pint of beer and a bag of nuts, and that's me for the night. But when I moved on to Freedom, I was determined, as part of the combating of loneliness, life-changing, lifestyle changes, I wanted to be myself, and I wanted to learn to be myself, but to also inspire other people. So this is why I decided to put together a YouTube channel. My daughter's helped me actually do all the technical bits, because I'm useless at that. But I wanted to project the day-to-day life-changing experiences I'm having. When I first moved aboard, I was in a bad place. I'd come out of a bad marriage, not happy. I'd just had 84 days living on my own in a storeroom in freezing cold temperatures, with very, very little in the way of washing facilities, both for myself and my clothes. I had no cooking facilities other than a microwave. No entertainment there. There was no TV, no nothing. So I was in a bit of a dark place, and I imagine there's a lot of people my age and younger, male and female, who've come out of a similar situation, or are looking for a lifestyle change, and they've decided that moving on board a boat would be the answer. Now, I know some people, and I did myself, considered having a camper van and touring Europe, but like I said before, I realised that Misty can't drive, so that meant I'd have to do it all. And I love being on this boat with my dog, and I wanted to show there's a positivity about boat lifestyle. It gives you something, and it's hard to actually package it and explain it, but it gives you an uplifting charge to be a better person and do things that you wouldn't have done whilst in a marriage or in a relationship where you're having to compromise with somebody else's choices. And I'm hoping that as we get out on the water and as this channel becomes more interesting, because obviously I'll be doing a lot of sailing and learning a lot as I go, that it will continue to inspire people and to show that there is life beyond, even at my age. You know, there's no point in saying, oh, I've come out of this and I'm sad and I'm lonely, and there's another chapter in life, and that's what I'm trying to project with the channel. There's no rehearsal. When I do something like this to camera, I haven't scripted anything. I don't always get across the message that I want to get across, but I'm hoping that those who watch both the channel and have joined us on Facebook, you'll see not every day do I put a video on there, but I put a morning video on there 2 or 3 times a week. Get to understand and get to see from when I first started how I have become more settled and happier in myself and the lifestyle that freedom's offered me. And I'm hoping to continue with the channel. It's slowly growing. It's not aimed to be a razzmatazz channel that's saying that sailing a boat and living on a boat is all whistles and flutes and it's great and there's bells and it's fantastic, because I imagine for some people it's hard. I'm fortunate, as I say, that for me at the moment it's ticking all the right boxes, but then when it doesn't, I want this channel to be able to project that as well, so that it forewarns other people. There's nothing worse than jumping in with both feet and then finding it isn't the lifestyle for you. And you need to watch a whole array of YouTube channels, I think, to get the full picture. But my contribution to this is tell it as it is, the good and the bad, the costs and the benefits, and hopefully it'll help others make a lifestyle choice. So keep subscribing. I'll keep making these videos, and hopefully it'll help a lot of people out there. Well, like everybody, Sharon, I've watched, I imagine I must have watched every narrowboating YouTube channel that's been in existence for the last 2-3 years, because I was thinking of coming on a boat 3-4 years ago, so I started watching everybody and anybody from then. What channels inspire me? I like the channels that aren't scripted. Now, I'm not knocking any individual YouTuber, you know, because everybody caters to their own audience. I like the channels that are more real, if that's the right way to describe it. I enjoyed Journey with Jono. Obviously he's gone off to do other things now. I like the whole style at which he presented. I love A Life Full of Meaning with Lisa and Glenn, because again, it's about life on a boat, not the dream of sailing into the sunshine that they project, you know. And if you've watched the channel, you'll see Lisa up to her knees in mud, and she has a bit of a swear sometimes when she's done things that she wished she hadn't started. And she makes meals out of nothing, and I love that. And Glenn is always fixing something, and it's great. And the whole relaxed style of their vlog appeals to me. Now, I have had people say to me, "Well, I can't abide them." Well, I think there's chances are there's a lot of people can't abide me either, and the way I do what I do. But this is why you need to watch several. What I don't like, and again, I'm not picking on any individual YouTube channel, because again, they all have their own reasons. When I started this, I said to my daughter, the one thing I want to make sure we never ever do with Misty and Me is we never become commercialized, and we never ever ask for Patreon support. This is a personal thing, so again, please don't be offended if you're another YouTuber and you're watching this. I chose to live on freedom with my dog. I didn't ask people to lend me the money to buy freedom, and I'm not going to ask people to contribute to my lifestyle. Now, I had this conversation with a neighbour only a few days ago, and he said, well, surely if you are providing a service, i.e. a watchable channel, then that's justification for being paid. And I suppose that is the way that the people who are asking for Patreon support see it. And I suppose when you've got 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers, if you've got 500 people, offering you £2-3 a month, which isn't a lot to an individual, but put all that together, that's a heck of an income. And I did watch a channel once where there was a family sat in front of a camera like I'm doing now, and they just launched Patreon, and they were saying, please consider supporting our channel via Patreon, because none of us work. But the week before, one of the members of the family was showing issues he was having with his BMW. And then his mum's got a separate car, and his dad's got a separate car. And I'm thinking, for me, that is wrong. That's just my opinion. I might get slated for this, I don't know. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I chose to do this. So the answer is the people that inspire me are those who don't ask others to support their lifestyle. Who else do I like to watch? I like to watch Chris and Shell. I love their channel. I like the way that they come over. I don't understand vegans, Chris and Shell. I'm not getting on at you. I don't understand you. I eat everything and anything. Again, but that's your lifestyle choice. But I do find the channel fantastic and very informative. And there's no pretense with these guys, So there's a lot of channels out there. I love to watch We're on the Move. That's because I'm biased, because it's a Widebeam. And I love Mark's dry sense of humour, and how the hell Julie puts it with him, I don't know. I think, when she's out on the water, if she could steer the boat, she'd have kicked him over a couple of times. But it makes for great entertainment, and they're very talented people, and they're very entertaining people. So that is the last question in this question and answer vlog. So to summarise lifestyle, for me, living on board freedom, I have got the most fantastic, relaxed, chilled out, routine set, cost effective lifestyle with my dog that I could ever have wanted. I am in the happiest place I've ever been. I can honestly say that. In all the years that I've had houses and relationships and marriages, this is the happiest part of my life, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. And I'm hoping that this channel will inspire other people who've been in the same situation that I've been in the past to take that leap and get themselves a boat and get to enjoy the kind of lifestyle that's out there. You learn to look at life in a different way, I think. You know, you don't need designer labels, you don't need fancy footwear, you don't need the Mercedes parked on the drive to make you a great person. You know, get out in these fields here, talk to the lads and the ladies who've got the dogs, and they'll all tell you the same. They love the lifestyle, and there's no one-upmanship as far as I can see. I haven't experienced not an ounce of it. Nobody looks up and down at you and looks at you as if to say, "Oh, you're scruffy," or you haven't got the latest style of jeans, or what. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So, at the risk of waffling on, I'm going to close this vlog here. I hope you found that I've answered the questions to a satisfactory standard for you. If you've got anything that I haven't already covered, do keep sending your questions in via the comments below. I will put together a third question and answer in about 6 months' time, and that'll cover the things that we haven't already been asked to do. Don't forget, I have still got Misty's vlog, which is to come. We've had quite a few questions about Misty, and she's not taken part today because she's fast asleep. She's had 2 walks and she's knacked. I'm going to go and put the kettle on, and then I've got this to edit because it's coming out on Saturday. And thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you find this channel informative. If you do, give me the thumbs up. If you don't, and I've said this before, I do apologise. I'm just me doing what I can do. Please don't give me a thumbs down. Psychologically, it's a killer if somebody does that. And I know there'll always be somebody who doesn't like what you do. Do consider joining us on Facebook. Just look up Misty and Me. You will need, it's a private group, so you will just need to apply to join, but I will accept you, obviously. And catch up with you next week. Thank you for your fantastic questions. Thank you for your support. And talk to you again soon. From Misty and Me. Bye-bye.